Story Survive.
Welcome back to Story Survive. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, I highly recommend going back and watching it first, because you need to understand the desperation of the Hodgson family to truly appreciate what happens now. When we left off, Peggy Hodgson had made a decision, a risky decision. She went public with her family's nightmare. She told the newspapers about the knocking, about the moving objects, about the invisible forces touching her children. Now, that newspaper story has attracted attention from the one group of people who might actually be able to help: professional paranormal investigators, people who have studied these phenomena, people who have equipment and training and years of experience. But nothing could have prepared them for what they were about to witness. It's late September 1977. The story has hit the newspapers. A journalist has reported on the strange occurrences at 284 Green Street. And that story reaches the ears of a man named Maurice Grosse. Maurice is a paranormal investigator with the Society for Psychical Research, the SPR, one of the oldest and most respected organizations studying unexplainable phenomena in the world. Maurice Grosse is not a believer, not in the sense that he accepts every paranormal claim. He's a skeptic, a trained investigator, someone who has spent years learning how to identify fraud, how to spot hoaxes, how to explain away the seemingly unexplainable. He comes to cases with doubt, with questions, with scientific curiosity. When he reads about the Hodgson family, he's intrigued, but he's skeptical. This could be a hoax, a family looking for attention, children playing pranks, a mother under stress who's misinterpreting normal occurrences. Maurice has seen it all before. He's not easily convinced. But he decides to investigate anyway, because that's what he does. He investigates. And if this case is real, it could be significant. In September 1977, Maurice Grosse arrives at 284 Green Street. He's met by Peggy Hodgson. She's exhausted. She's terrified. She's not the type of woman who seeks attention or publicity. She just wants help. She wants someone to understand what's happening and tell her what to do. Maurice talks to the family. He listens to their stories. He hears about the knocking, the moving furniture, the invisible touches, the scratches and bruises on the children's bodies. He takes notes. He observes. He's listening for inconsistencies, for signs of fabrication, for anything that would indicate this is a hoax. And then he decides to wait, to see if the phenomena actually occurs while he's there. That night, Maurice sits in the house, waiting, listening, watching, and it happens. The knocking comes, loud, undeniable, right there in the house. Maurice hears it himself. It's not subtle. It's not something that could be easily explained. This is real sound coming from real walls. Maurice documents it. He watches as the family reacts. He notes the time, the location, the nature of the sound. He's trained. He's methodical. He's recording everything. But hearing the knocking is one thing. Seeing the phenomena is another. Over the next few days, Maurice witnesses something that changes his entire perspective. Objects move in the house while he's watching. A chair moves, furniture shifts, small items travel across rooms on their own. Maurice documents everything with photographs, with written notes, with careful observation. And Maurice begins to realize something. This is not a simple hoax. This is not a family looking for attention. Something genuine is happening in this house, something that defies normal explanation. Maurice knows he can't investigate this case alone. He needs help. He needs other researchers. He needs people who can bring different perspectives and expertise. He needs collaboration. So Maurice reaches out to a colleague, Guy Lyon Playfair, another paranormal investigator with the Society for Psychical Research. Guy is a serious researcher, well-educated, methodical, careful. Together, Maurice and Guy decide to launch a full investigation into what's happening at 284 Green Street. This is no longer just a family dealing with a strange problem. This is now an official investigation by trained professionals with equipment and credentials and the backing of a respected paranormal research organization. The investigation is about to intensify in ways the Hodgson family couldn't have imagined. Maurice and Guy bring equipment to the house: cameras, audio recorders, temperature gauges, devices designed to measure and document paranormal phenomena. They begin setting up monitoring systems. They interview the family in detail. They talk to neighbors. They speak to police officers who responded to earlier calls. The investigation becomes constant. Daily observations, nightly monitoring, documentation of every incident, every sound, every movement, every claim made by family members. And now something critical happens. The phenomena begins to intensify. It's as if the presence in the house knows it's being studied, as if it responds to the attention and investigation by becoming more active, more aggressive, more impossible to deny. Objects don't just move slightly anymore. They move with force, with purpose. The knocking doesn't just tap softly anymore. It pounds, it shakes the walls. It's loud enough that neighbors can hear it from outside the house. And a new phenomenon emerges, one that Maurice and Guy had not anticipated. The invisible force begins to focus on one person specifically, the youngest teenager in the house, Janet. The 13-year-old girl begins to experience things the others don't. She's thrown from her bed repeatedly. She reports being physically attacked by invisible hands. She has marks and bruises that appear on her body, scratches that look like they came from fingernails. Janet becomes the focal point of the investigation. She becomes the person around whom most of the phenomena occurs. Maurice and Guy begin to focus their documentation on her experiences. They photograph her injuries. They interview her about what she's experiencing. They try to understand why she's being targeted. Other investigators begin to arrive. Word is spreading in the paranormal research community about the case in Enfield. Researchers want to come and observe for themselves. Journalists continue to arrive. Scientists want to study what's happening. The house becomes increasingly crowded. More observers, more cameras, more documentation. The private family crisis has transformed into a public investigation, into a media spectacle, into one of the most studied paranormal cases anyone has ever attempted to investigate. The phenomena continues to escalate. Investigators document incidents that seem impossible. Objects moving with great force, sounds that don't match any known source, phenomena that seems to respond to questions, to commands, to the presence of specific investigators or family members. Maurice and Guy begin to wonder if they're dealing with something that responds to attention, something that becomes more active when people are watching, something that almost seems intelligent, almost seems aware of the investigation happening around it. One night, something extraordinary occurs. Janet enters what appears to be a trance state. Her voice changes. It becomes deep, masculine, unlike anything that should be coming from a 13-year-old girl. A voice speaks through her, a voice that claims to be a man who died in the house years before, a man named Bill Wilkins. Maurice and Guy listen carefully. The voice provides information, details, claims about events that supposedly happened in the house previously. They take notes. They begin trying to verify whether this information is accurate, whether a man named Bill Wilkins actually died in this house. What they discover startles them. There actually was a man named Bill Wilkins. He did die in the house. The details provided by the voice match historical records. The voice seems to know things that the Hodgson family shouldn't have known, things that aren't in public records or newspapers. Maurice and Guy are now convinced they're dealing with something genuinely paranormal, something that responds to investigation, something that seems aware, something that seems to have intelligence and purpose. But not everyone who visits the house reaches the same conclusions. Some investigators remain skeptical. Some think there's fraud happening. Some believe Janet is unconsciously creating the phenomena through psychological means. Some think the entire thing could be the result of suggestion and mass hysteria. The debate has begun. Experts disagreeing about what's real, disagreeing about causes, disagreeing about whether this is genuine paranormal activity or elaborate deception or psychological phenomena or something else entirely. What Maurice and Guy are certain of is this: something remarkable is happening in that house, something that deserves serious study, something that challenges our understanding of reality itself. The investigation that began with a skeptical investigator arriving to debunk a family's claims has transformed into something much larger, much more significant, much more impossible to dismiss. But the best is yet to come. The most dramatic phenomena, the most compelling evidence, the most terrifying incidents are all still ahead. As autumn turns toward winter in 1977, the Enfield Poltergeist is about to reach a peak of activity that will astonish everyone involved. In Part 3, we'll explore the most intense period of the investigation, the phenomena at its most powerful, the evidence at its most compelling, the mystery at its most profound. Make sure you subscribe to StorySurvive and turn on notifications so you don't miss it, because what happens next will challenge everything you think you know about what's possible. Thank you for joining me on StorySurvive. I'll see you in Part 3.